Hello, brother sewing and crafting family. Angela Wolf here. How's it going? And how's your week? So we're wrapping up this week. We've got Emily Thompson here with a super fun project, super cute, easy and fast to do before Valentine's Day. I cannot believe Valentine's Day is almost here. I still have Wynn's gift in the car. I carry it everywhere so I don't forget for Valentine's. And if you missed it, it's in the hoop design. So those of you with the Avenir, it's in your master class. So pop in, everyone, say hi. I love seeing all your comments early, and Emily's here. Give her a big warm welcome. And yes, we are live on Brothers Sews YouTube and Facebook pages. If Facebook is behaving today, we'll see. You never know. Emily, how are you?
I'm good. So happy to be here with you guys, sewing and hopefully making a little fun Valentine's project and yeah, doing a fun embroidery.
This is going to be exciting. It looks so cute too. So we're going to be using Artspira and a few other things. All of you take your notes. And if you want to watch this again, if you're on Facebook, forward it to your page. That's the easiest way to find it. And subscribe to YouTube and you'll never miss a live show. And we've got a big, I was just going through the schedule for February, March, a lot of great shows coming up. This is going to be amazing.
Very fun. Yes, I'm excited and also looking forward to Valentine's next week. So this will be a little fun craft that we can use in our house.
Sounds good. All right, Emily, I'll let you take it away. I'll monitor the comments and questions and let you know if I see anything you need to answer.
Sounds great. All right. So I gave Angela a little preview. So she saw a little bit what we're going to do. And I'm just going to show you, I've kind of planned or pre-executed a bit of this project so that I can show you from the beginning how it's going to look and then stitch out the last little bit. But we're making a Valentine's bunting, and I feel like buntings are easy, fun, and perfect for any holiday. Plus they take up zero space to store them for the next year. And because they're so easy and quick, honestly, I don't even always save them. Sometimes it's a 1-year use and then I move on and the next year I create something different. But this is a cute little love bunting and I'm trying out a couple of techniques that I've been experimenting with. So this is a little design from Artspira, and the shiny part that you see in there, that's actually the topper stabilizer that I put over. So I need to pick that out. Obviously, the best way to get rid of all of it would be to soak it because it's water soluble, but I was going to pick it out and I didn't finish the inside. So it's a little bow and arrow from Artspira, which we're going to stitch on the other side of the bunting as well. And then it says love. And because I'm obsessed with this right now, we're using the Puffy foam embroidery. And so I just transferred the LOVE from the font that I am using for this to my machine. And I think I mentioned a couple months ago when I did some Puffy foam, but I experimented with the built-in fonts in this machine because they looked like they would work perfectly for Puffy foam. They were blocky, chunky, wide enough to go over the foam. But unfortunately, because they're not designed for the Puffy foam, they don't stitch the under layer, which actually cuts the foam. And so on any of the ends of the letters, the foam wouldn't like tear off. So I was bummed because there are so many cute fonts built into this machine. So I just got myself a couple of fonts made for the Puffy foam, and you'll see when we stitch out the E, but the under sort of layer of the first layer of this letter goes around and like perforates the entire outline of the letter, and that makes it easy to tear off. So we're going to reveal the V, and then we're going to hoop the last 2 flags in my bunting, which will be the E and the last arrow. All right. So we're going to finish this and hopefully have a cute bunting for us to check out. So I'm going to head over to my work table so that we can re-hoop this and reveal the V and then get ready to stitch out the last part of this bunting.
Sounds good. It's super, super cute. While she's switching over to her table, pop in, say hi. Let us know if you have any questions because we are live today. And just so you know, if you're watching the replay, you can ask questions then too, because guess what? We answer them. All right. I see you over there, Emily.
Okay. So here we have the previous hooping, and this is just a 5x7 hoop for the Stellaire, but I'm able to fit 2 of the little flags in there, which is great because it sort of saves on stabilizer and makes it a quicker project because I can go through and do 2 at once. So I'm gonna this is adhesive stabilizer, and I'm just going to rip it off. Now these flags, I'm sure you can see that in the video, but they're a very loose weave, like burlap. I bought them a long time ago, and I've used them for so many projects because it came, I don't even know how many flags it came with, but so many. So I just sort of cut off the section I want, and I've made like 5 or 6 buntings out of it because usually I'm just doing, 1 word or 2 words. So it goes pretty quickly on that. Okay, so we've taken off the stabilizer, and of course, we will arrange these letters a little bit different. I have them scooted really close together to go in the hoop, and then we've stitched this one out. I had 1 piece of pink foam that was, I don't know, 6 by 10 or something, and I cut it into 4 pieces. And then when I did my V, you can see that I had to like put a little piece next to this because it was a little bit bigger than I needed, or that I had for my foam. So it's really easy to piece the foam. You can see I just put this scrap right next to the rectangle. And then once you've picked it off, you can't even tell that you pieced that together. So that's a good way to conserve foam if you're doing letters and one of your letters ends up to be a little bit bigger than you thought it would, like this one here. And there's a long stitch right there. Okay, so we're just peeling this off, and it peels off really easy, and then it looks so cute for the result. So there's for the V, we have the LOV, and now we're going to hoop the last 2 bunting flags. So I'm going to push these 2 really close together so they go in the hoop well. Here's my final piece of foam, and here's the sticky adhesive stabilizer. So we're going to go ahead and loosen this back up. Cut a piece of stabilizer. These are my paper scissors. See how I've marked them so fancy. And sometimes when my fabric scissors get where they are no longer good for fabric, they become the paper scissors. And these have lasted a long time. Okay, so we're hooping with the paper side up. Make sure this is the side with the arrow. Sometimes you have to open your hoop up pretty wide because this paper is definitely fat and it likes to pop out. So I'm forcing in, but I don't know how else I would hoop these burlap flags. Okay, so tighten that down. Really make sure it's in there. Okay, so I'm just tightening on that side. I might just cut this off because it feels like a little bit in the way, and it's pretty stiff and crunchy with the 2 layers. All right, so now we're going to cut off the paper so that we reveal the adhesive and we can stick the flags on. I just like to score it with a seam ripper or the tip of some sharp scissors. And then be careful that you're only picking off the paper layer and not sticking it through both layers, so that when you peel it, you have the bottom layer. All right. So now we have the hoop ready to put our flags in, and I slid them really close together. And as far as the placement on the, this is the center of the hoop, so we're going to put the center of the 2 flags there. And on the other ones, I aligned the top with the top of the hoop, and then the bottom sort of hangs over. And if I do the same on all of the ones that I've hooped, then hopefully the placement of the letters, at least on the up and down, is very, very similar. And then I just try to line up the center when I'm placing my letter with the bottom V on this bunting piece. Okay, so that's it. If it feels like it's not really stuck down, you could add a pin or two, but I just don't really want them to get in the way. This worked before, so I was able to just sort of hold it in place and press it down until it got a little stitch down, and then it was all ready to go. So we're gonna head over to the embroidery machine and get that all set up. Angela, I'm just gonna move the camera a little bit closer to the embroidery machine than I had before, so I will do that.
Sounds great. So I do have a couple questions for you, Emily.
Yes.
First of all, someone wants to know, do you know what thickness that foam is?
I believe it's 2 millimeters.
Okay. And that's like a standard craft foam for those of you that have never done that.
It's 3 millimeters.
3 millimeters?
Okay, I just found the pack, yes. Which is really, I mean, I like it because it's super thick. If you have a thinner one, you can definitely like layer them, but it's nice to just sort of start with a little bit thicker one.
Right.
Personally.
And then you have one more question here. Someone wanted to know, Heidi wants to know, how do you know what fonts would be good for puffy foam? Are they labeled like that? I mean, I know to answer part of that is that a lot of times in the machine, the built-in machines, especially the multi-needle that Brother has, they are specifically labeled puffy foam. Any advice for them on that?
Yeah, so I would say the same thing if you're searching online or on a site that you've bought embroidery patterns from before. I actually literally use the word puffy foam in my search to make sure that it's doing it. And usually in the description, you will see them have it stitched out over foam. So if you see that they've used it for that, you'll know that it actually then works for that.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. All right. I can see you great on there.
Okay. So I saved the previous design or the letters that I was working with on the machine so that I would know where the placement was for this one. Okay, so you can see where this V is placed. You can't see the outline, but the little 5x7 hoop light outline is in there, and the V is to the right of it. So the reason I saved this, I'm not using the V, but I wanted to know on the vertical placement where my next letter is going to be. So here's how we're going to do the E and then get the placement the same as we got this one. All right, so we're going to go to add, and then this time I'm going to go to the USB. Okay, here's my E. We're going to set it. So now I have that. So we're going to edit, rotate 90 degrees. And now I just want to align it with the V. So I want the V is actually, it's weirdly a little bit taller, which is not awesome when you are using a font that said it was 3.5 inches tall. But I noticed that when it compared to the O as well. But I'm going to align with the top of the V, and then we can actually go ahead and select the V and delete that. Okay, we don't need that one anymore. Now I'm going to move this left and right depending on where it is the placement for my bunting. So we're going to go ahead and place that into the machine. And just because I was hooping these letters 3 times, that is why I was using that method to just sort of get the alignment the same each time. If I used a big hoop, which I could have, and then I probably could have done the LOVE all in one hoop, and then I would have just either used the laser placement, or I could use my Snap app for placement, and then I would get the picture of what my hoop looks like. So there's a lot of ways to do it, but I just thought with the 5x7, doing it this way, this was a simple way to check for alignment. And you could also use that method on a machine that doesn't have the ability to like see the hoop like this one does. So you can use that for a lot. All right, so we have the E. I'm only going to move it up and down. We're not going to move it left to right anymore, which is actually the up and down in my design here. All right, so it's in the middle of the hoop right now. And we're going to go to embroidery, and I'm going to go here because then when I hit move, it literally moves the needle so I can see. So if you want to see the laser light, which is awesome for seeing the placement. So I've turned on the laser. It might be a little hard for you to see, but I can totally see it. We're going to move this up in the hoop to try and center it on what I'm using for centering on the bunting, which I could have put a pin, which I often do, is the V, the point of the V in the bottom of the bunting. So just going up. Eventually we're going to get to the top of the hoop and not be able to go any farther, which may be about where I want. Okay, so it's lined with the bottom of the V. I can see my laser light there. And we are ready to stitch out the E. So now I have the foam, and you're going to place it in the hoop. Now I will say this font doesn't do a placement stitch like for applique. I love when you get the placement stitch and then you put your applique material right over that placement stitch. This starts with the underlay stitch, which perforates the foam. So you really do need to put it in the hoop to begin with. Now, like I showed you with the V, when it stitched out, I saw it go off the foam here on the edge. So that's when I backed up my stitches, got a little extra piece of foam and stuck it on there to make sure that it was how I wanted it. All right, so this is gonna move. So I need to make sure that these pieces of the bunting are not in the way. And I think we are ready. I have the same pink thread in the machine that I did for the other letters, and hopefully this is going to stitch out really well. So this is going to go around. And this first time through, I will be able to see if my foam placement was correct, and it's going to catch everything, but I think it is. So usually I just hold it in place till it does a few of the stitches, and then we're able to move forward and see how it stitches out. Now you'll see that it didn't actually stitch out the whole letter. Some of it stitches out in pieces, and that's just the way that it does it. So it's actually going to complete this top of the E before it even gets to the bottom. And the O, it did that as well. It actually like stitched out this little piece here in the middle, and then it did this loop all in one. So if you think, oh, what is it doing? Why didn't it stitch out the whole thing? That's literally just the way it does it, and it works out. So, okay, while this is stitching, which we'll come back to this and take a look, we're going to check out the other design from Artspira and see how we're going to transfer that to the machine. Okay, so I have my phone here, and oh, I have to show you this. So this is like a sublimation print, and it's so cute, and I want to put it on a shirt because
oh, Emily,
so
I love that. Yes, that's so cute.
So anyway, I was trying to figure out how to use that for a project today, but I couldn't quite get there. So I just, oh boy, now my phone's going to sleep. So I decided to do this bunting, but I'm really excited about using this. And I think when I sublimate it, so it's bigger, I'm going to do the LO on one sheet and then the VE on a second sheet. And then it'll be a nice big print. So stay tuned for that. But I just saw that on Artspira and I thought it was so beautiful. So I think I saved the bow. Okay. But I just found it by searching Valentine, and I saved it just because I like made it as big as it could go and adjusted it and rotated it. So I wanted to have that saved. Okay. So we're done. It's in the 5x7 hoop. It says it's transferring to Emily Stell, which is my super original nickname for this machine. And then we're going to hit the transfer. Actually, since we have time, we're going to just rotate this because honestly, I want it to be the opposite, right? So I did this one this way, and then I want the other one facing like the reverse of it. So let's go to layout, and then we'll rotate it twice and then we can pull it down a little bit in the hoop, but we'll have to move it a little bit more on the actual machine when we get there. Okay, so now we're done. We do not need to save this. We have it saved. We're going to hit transfer, and the transfer is complete. So once this letter finishes stitching out, which it's about halfway, then we will do that. So were there any other questions while this is stitching? I know it takes a little bit, but you can speed it. I did notice the other day I tried speeding up the machine, and this particular font actually doesn't go faster. It just sort of stitches it out in the speed it wants. So it takes its own sweet time doing it.
I love it. The machine knows more than we do, right?
Totally. It knows I got to take my time. It's going to look good to stitch that out. So were there any questions while I was doing that? Otherwise, we can get like a close-up of this too.
There's a couple questions. Elsa says, could you use a bigger hoop? And then she said, I think I got my answer. But just to answer that though, if you could use a bigger hoop, and you would get a lot. You could even get a few more flags on there too, probably.
Absolutely. I think in the 9x9, I could get 4, and you just would have to sort of, they are all attached to each other, so you have to keep that in mind. But I think you could do like a square of them, and then just keep moving your design so that it fits exactly how you want. So I think you definitely could do that.
I forgot. You know what, though? It is a good point that they're attached together, so you can't really just place them all over. The other question someone said is, could you use the My Design Snap app with your Stillair? And yes, you could.
Yes. So obviously, that would be an easy way, because then right here on my screen, I would see the layout of the flags. And if I did 4 or more flags, I absolutely would do that, because 2 would probably be going this way and 2 would probably be going that way. And so I think it would be a great way to make sure the placement was correct. So this is just, an easy placement that I did today. And because I'm only doing the 2 at a time, that was, how I did it. But I think the My Snap app would be very helpful in this situation.
I agree. Debbie wants to know, well, this isn't specifically for Emily, but does Brother have any other episodes with Puffy foam? Actually, Emily, you did another one, didn't you? Maybe a couple months back?
I think in the fall, I made my daughter a sweatshirt that had Puffy foam on the front. And I think we did a little bit of the stitching, and then I sewed up the sweatshirt. Or did we make the pant? I don't remember. But I think we made the sweatshirt. So I think it was a combination like embroidery project / serger project with the sweatshirt. So if you go back in the archives and look, and actually I've seen people saying, oh, Puffy foam isn't for clothing. It's just for, hats and bags. I will say probably 5-6 months ago, I made myself and my daughter a sweatshirt. I mean, not the same one. I made us each a sweatshirt. And I have washed them every time we've worn them multiple times, and they're holding up great. So will they last 10 years? Probably not. But like for this winter season, we will get to wear them at least for a whole season, and the foam and the stitching is holding up great. So just a little awesome. FYI, I think you can use it on clothing, and I have not seen any issues.
Okay, so my question now on that is, did you just hang the outfit to dry? Does the dryer?
I always say if it can't go in the dryer, it can't be in our house, because I just am so bad with laundry or like remembering to take things out. So literally everything goes in the dryer in our house, for better or for worse.
Like, don't give me a dryer, and I don't want the iron unless I'm sewing.
I can't iron, and I have to put it in the dryer. So it can't really need a lot of special care around here. So no, we washed and dried them. I mean, it is turned inside out when I wash it.
Okay.
But that is the only like special care I'm taking.
That's perfect.
So, yeah.
Okay, Julie has a request for you, and she says, please add to one of your future shows, and I will note this as well.
Okay.
She says, please make your clear stadium bag on the show.
Okay. We could do that. You have to check my stash of clear vinyl and straps, but that would be easy to get. I'm still using that bag that I that I blogged about years later. So it's a good one. Yeah, we could do that. It's fun because you're sewing on clear vinyl, which is a little bit different, and then using the strapping. So that's a good idea. We can put that. That'd be a good summer one.
Emily, do you have that one on your website?
I do, yes. If you search clear stadium bag or clear bag on Life So Savory, I made like a tote version and I made a fanny pack version as well.
Okay, great. So Julie, pop on over to her website if you want to see it prior to that, before we can get it into the schedule. We got a question here. Neam says, can this work on the XP, the Luminaire? Wait, this is the XP2.
No, this is the XJ2.
XJ2. The XP2 is the Luminaire. So yes, you could do any of this on the Luminaire. You could do it on any embroidery machine. You just have to get the right font. It doesn't mean that this font is built into that. So you might have to download a different font.
Yes. Oh, and I just ran out of Bobbin, sadly. But.
Of course, because it's a live show. We know that.
Yeah.
Gabby. Hey, Gabby, great to see you. She's using the Stellaire XJ2. So
XJ2, yes.
Great machine.
All right, so when it does run out of bobbin thread, there's a little button on the XJ2 that you push and it moves the hoop out of the way. And I tried leaving the hoop on, but usually it tells me remove the hoop. So I just remove the hoop and then it'll move back and then you put the hoop back in. So there was a little bit of thread left on the bobbin. You probably can't see, but like 10 inches. And so I'm going to remove that and then we're going to go ahead and thread the bobbin again, which I filled it up very full when I started this project, and I was trying to be hopeful that I could get through the whole thing, which not quite. So, but you don't have to even unthread your embroidery thread the whole way in order to do this. I usually just move it. You can also put your bobbin thread up here on the extra spool, and I've done that before. But I do try to make sure that the embroidery thread is off this hook here, because otherwise when the bobbin thread goes through there, it gets tangled together. Ask me how I know. Okay, so you have to unthread it from this particular part before you can do it, even no matter which place you end up putting your bobbin thread. Okay, so hopefully we have a nice full bobbin to finish our project. Put it in here.
I'm just going to answer questions while you're up there. Rosemary says, hey, so the foam goes on the top. Yes. So the foam goes on top of your project. So you have your fabric, then your foam, and then it stitches on top of that. And then you pull the foam away, which you'll see her do that here in just a second.
So yes, and actually the foam stays inside the project. It's not just a expander. It literally becomes part of the project, which is why I think that some people recommend not using it on clothing, because then it is literally going through the wash. So, but foam is like a plastic, so it feels like it should be washable, but I guess it could break down more than obviously fabric and thread. So, all right. We're ready to finish stitching this out. It's almost finished. And then we'll grab our Artspira design that we put on there and use that.
All right. Neam asked, what is your website? I'm going to put it up right below here. And also, Brother Social Team, put it in the comments if you want to save that. But it's lifesosavory.com. I'll bring it up here just so you can see that. Here you go.
Yep.
And there's Brother's website, my website, if you want to see the schedule, but Emily's is already in there, so I didn't have to retype it.
Yes. And I honestly don't have this particular project on my site, but I have made lots of buntings with different kinds of embroidery. So There's tips on just the general idea of embroidering buntings for sure on there, but this is sort of a combination of a few different methods that I've been having fun playing with, and probably one that I won't blog about because it's fairly simple and just combines Artspira, which I love, Puffy foam, which I love, and these bunting, which if you Google bunting or you look up bunting on my site, you will see that I have used these burlap ones many times before. I just keep using them.
So cute and so easy. Hey, thanks, Princess, for bringing that website up so people can click it. It's on, she put it on Brother Sews, and then also we'll drop it over on the YouTube channel so you can see it as well.
Okay, so this finished. So now I'm actually gonna go back to the home. We're gonna get rid of, we don't need to save this E placement because honestly, we're just going to align for the bow and arrow with the center this way and the center this way. And by align, I mean, we're gonna eyeball it best we can. So we're gonna delete that. We're gonna go back to embroidery. I'm going to hit the little cloud pocket design to find the Artspira design. Now, just a reminder is you can import these designs, you can use them, but you cannot save them to your machine. So like I saved that V for alignment, I actually can't save this bow and arrow to my machine because it's an Artspira design. So it doesn't allow you. So that's why I saved it on the app. And it saves the placement and the sizing on the app, but you can't just go ahead and hit the memory on here, which would be nice, but it's easy to work around that too. Okay, so we're gonna turn the laser light back on. And right now, this bow and arrow is in the very center of my 5x7 hoop, which is on the line between the buntings. So we're gonna go ahead and move it. Oh, these flags, they're moving with it. And we're gonna go to the center this way. It either moves too slow or too fast sometimes. And then we're gonna move it up just a little bit, which I'm, again, using guesstimation here on centering the up and down, but it's gonna look great. Okay, so now we have that there, but the next step is to change my thread, okay? Because, and I have the threads here I used on the other bow and arrow. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pull out this pink, and then we're going to put in the light pink for the first part that it's gonna stitch. And I'm just using a combination of different threads from my stash, nothing in particular. Okay, and this whole thing says it stitches out in 4 minutes, which is very quick, but it will take us just a tiny bit longer than that because of course I have to change the thread a few times. So we're going to have this stitch out step by step and show you, oh, I forgot. I don't know if it make a huge difference, and I suppose I can experiment with that, but I did put the clear topper on the other side because the weave of this bunting is so loose. So I wanted this to go on top so that really, and I'm gonna go back. Okay.
So what she's, just so anybody's checking this out, what she's using is water soluble topper. It's that really thin, kind of feels like plasticky. And you put it on top, it washes away or tears away, however you want it. Sometimes I'll tear it away and use a little squirt bottle, but that's what she's using on top.
Which is probably what I'll do with this when I'm done, because I don't really want to submerge this entirely, but here's the product. Okay, so it's just sort of clear and plasticky, and I just don't want the embroidery to sink into the burlap because of how loose the weave is on this. So that, I mean, Angela, you do so many more projects on loose weave fabrics than I do, so I just am not the expert that I know you are on this, but this is like on really thick fabrics like fleece or terry cloth, right? You don't want it to sink in. And on this, where it's such loose weave, I just feel like it needed a little bit more anchoring on the fabric.
Yeah, that looks great. That's what I would use too. And you know, it always just depends on the fabric, but you don't want the fabric to, or the threads to kind of disappear in there. The other thing you could use is maybe a little piece of tulle, but that should work fine. It sure looked nice when you were finished with it, when you showed us the ending results.
Yes. So I think it will work. And like, yeah, the spray bottle is a great idea because, you know, I can pick away the big pieces, but there's just some little pieces that were still in there. So that's what I'll do when I'm finished with this. All right, now it says to use the dark pink. So we're going to use this dark pink here and thread it onto the machine.
While she's threading, I got another question. So Jane, be more specific, Jane, on your question, because I'm just want to make sure I have it right. She said, can you do or show us how to save with Artspira? Are you talking about saving in the app or saving it to the machine? Or you can't take it from machine to machine, but if you give me a little more specific, we'll see if we can answer that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm not sure either exactly what that means. You can also, even like this Puffy font, you can also import things to Artspira and combine designs in the app if you want to do it on there. And if it's a design you purchased, you can also save it on Artspira, but you can't save it on the machine because it didn't come from the machine. But other things that I bought, other designs that I purchased, I can save in my machine. So it just depends.
And Jane, I will mention this. I don't have the exact date yet, so stay tuned. But I know that there's going to be a real special Artspira show coming up. So it's in March sometime, but just keep your eye out. Our shows are always on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. So keep an eye out because I know we have something great for you. But if you give more specifics, we might be able to answer it now.
She just said on the app.
Oh. Since she keeps screwing it up. Hey, Jane, you can't screw it up. It's just called design opportunities.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hit save. And then when I want things, they're in my creations here. And I've got lots of weird assorted things saved in here, but then I can just find them on there. So I'm definitely not an expert. Apparently I'm not, it's working for me, whatever I'm doing. So, but I can't say that I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just hitting the save button.
I'm curious to know how many people watching use the Artspira app because there's a free version and there's a paid version. It only works with brother machines.
Yeah.
But there's so much in there, Emily, as you know, embroidery, sublimation, print moda.
Yes.
It's the scan and cut. It's like the universal brother world.
And what's fun is like every time I open it up, I mean, sometimes a week or two will go by in between opening it up because I'm busy doing other things. And you find new things every time I open it up. They've uploaded new designs and they're almost always awesome and things that just very inspirational and makes me think about, oh, I could use that for this or that for this. So yeah, it's very fun.
And also for those of you that want some more education, there are educational tutorials in there. So make sure you check that out. I haven't even looked. I'll look right now to see if they have any Puffy foam, but I know they have.
There's a lot of video library in there as well, which is awesome. Okay, so note on this, and we're going to look at the difference here in a minute. I'm doing 2 layers of the topper on this bow and arrow compared to a single layer on the first one. 2 layers. I just feel like it looks so much more bold and like stitching out so much better. So that's just, I guess, a note on these thin weave fabrics is that you can even layer this up for like a better embroidery experience on that. So we'll see here. Okay, so it's got to do the little ends of the bow and arrow, which are a heart, which is the point of the arrow is a little heart, and then the feather end. And then we are almost finished with this, and we can go over to the table and pull off the foam and do the big reveal. So
this is so cute. So Emily, while it's stitching, a couple people asked, and I can't even remember what you made last because you make so many cute things for Rose, but what did you make? Oh, was it the leggings that you made into a wide leg leggings?
Yes. In January, I made her sweatpants.
Did she like them? Did she love them?
So she's been wearing them, but they are a little bit more of a baggy fit than she's used to. I mean, I think they're cute and they are so on trend, but with what you see other people wearing, but it's not like hugging her butt. They're a little bit looser. The pockets add a little bit of bulk, you know. So she was like, they just are a little baggy. I said, they're so cute. I mean, they are so cute. So you can see if you go back a couple posts on the homepage of Life So Savory. I also made her like a matching coordinating sweatshirt that goes with it. So if you scroll back and see that, you can see the sweatpants. And I think they're adorable. I mean, I would totally wear them if they were my size. So.
They were so cute. I love them. And you can go back and watch that episode. As she said, she posted it on her site. You can go to Brother's YouTube channel. That's the easiest way.
All right. So we are almost finished with this one. Oh, I guess I better thread the needle or it won't work. Don't forget that. Oh boy. Nope. Push start before I finish threading. Okay. So that'll stitch that out and then we are all finished and we'll go do the big reveal and check out the full bunting and then I'll have to find a place to hang it, which I'm excited about.
This is so cute. So this is something super easy, fast to do for Valentine's Day. If you have questions, we're not quite finished yet, so drop them in the chat. Emily and I will try to help you with that. And I'm just very excited. I can't believe Valentine's is already next week, though. Where has the time gone? Look how cute that is.
So cute. All right, so let's go pull this off. Compare this to the first one. I think this double layer, it actually stitched out like way better, but we'll take a look at that. I'm going to switch my camera over and I'll see you over at the table.
All right, while she's switching, I love this project. This would be so cute. Now we have more cute projects. If you missed the show, was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. All the shows blend together. I need like an exact file. There's so many great ones. But if you missed the show on Tuesday, Kathy Stipe showed how to make super cute Valentines. I don't know if you saw the show, Emily, but your kids would love this, especially if you were bringing little treats to school. They were like little fold over hearts that she made on the Scan and Cut out of felt. Oh. They were adorable.
So fun. I actually didn't see it. I catch a lot of, you know, bits and pieces of a lot of the shows, but I actually haven't seen that one yet. So I'll have to go back and look because it sounds so cute.
More Valentines, more Valentines.
Yeah, more Valentine's fun. All right. So just up front, let's look at these two bow and arrows and look at how much brighter and bolder this one looks compared to this one with the single layer of that topper on it. So I think that the double layer was actually really a good plan. I am going to try to pick this out of the center of the bow here. So that's not, I feel like that's distracting me from seeing it, but I'm going to go grab the water spray bottle and I'll spray it when we're finished here. But so you can, pull off as much as you can with your fingers. In the small spaces, it's hard, but it is water soluble. So just a little bit of water and it melts away pretty easily. But okay, so there's this one. Here. And then let's take these out of the hoop. Whoops, the thread goes up this way. And I'll just peel this off. Now you'll see on the back of this, I haven't like picked off all that. You absolutely can if you want to, but I'm not really doing that because this is the back and no one's gonna see the back of this bunting. If you really wanted it to look like perfect, you could cover the back of the bunting with like felt too. I've done that if I feel like at any point that the back might be seen, is just cover it with a little rectangle of felt, and that helps it to look good too. So the foam is very easy to peel off. I'm just a little bit gentle, but it's not like it comes right off. Pull out that centerpiece, and there you have the really cute foam E. And then this, we're going to tear around the outside, which will come off pretty easily. And then I'll just pick out the middle a little bit, and then we'll compare. But definitely this is a bolder, brighter, and using the same colors. Okay, I saved the colors that I had used the other, when did I prep this? Yesterday afternoon or the day before. So it is peeling off. You know what also would work really well, but I don't have it right here, is like the scan and cut picking tool would work yeah, that would be perfect to get this out actually.
I was actually thinking even different than a spray bottle, a little sponge.
Yes.
It's all done.
Yes. No, that would be perfect. So I can even see up here, there's just like a little bit that didn't come off when I tore around it, and I could spend probably like 20 minutes picking the little things, or just get a sponge and in 2 seconds it would be off. So, all right, so there's that. But look at that. What a big difference in how that looks with the second layer. It's just so much brighter. Anyway, so I don't know now if we can fit this whole thing on the screen, or I need to back up and hold. I'll slide them really close together here, and we'll see if we can. I probably would actually put like about an inch between each letter. Nope, I can't get it all in there. So
that's so cute.
Hold it, or we can just slide it back and forth here, but so cute. It looks great. We'll probably hang it by our kitchen table, and there we go. We can enjoy it. So actually I will, I'm going to hold it, and then hopefully you can see it here. I'll go back to the other camera, and then I'll hold it up.
Okay, sounds good. I love this. So what questions do you have? I put both of our websites below. I see a couple of people asking, where is a good place to get puffy foam? Deborah, you wanted to know what kind of puffy foam is the good one. So do an internet search. You know, it's not a Brothered product, but do an internet search. You can go to almost any craft store and find it's the same puffy foam. I don't know if Emily has a good source, but if she does, she could put it on her website.
So if you go to the post that I did in the fall with my daughter's sweatshirt, or with my sweatshirt, which I think if you just search for puffy foam on Life So Savory and go to the most recent post that I have done with puffy foam in the last few months, I believe I have linked to this exact one that I'm using. And I will say, as a note, I first just tried like craft foam, because I had read that worked, and it did, but honestly it did not tear off as easily as this does. So I did end up going with the more name brand puffy foam, and I do think it's worth the upgrade. So that's just a side note, but that is linked in either of those posts that you would find on my site. So look at it.
So cute. Oh my goodness. Look at how adorable that is. Where are you going to hang it?
I think over our table, by our kitchen table, we have like a spot that's kind of easy to hang things. So I think I'll hang it there, and then we can have it for the next week or so until Valentine's Day. So, and I'll probably put just like a little bit of space between each letter. I have some there's extra twine that I cut off. So I think it looks, a little bit spaced out, but anyway, so cute, and really is so easy to put on there. And I love the way it looks. The arrow is a great addition on the end, just a little. It's always fun when you make a bunting with a word to add just a little bit of something on either side. I mean, that's what I like to do. So
It's so cute. So cute. Okay, we got a couple questions here before we run. I'll try to answer some of these. Riesel, she's trying to log into Artspira. It needs an ID. You do need to set up an account, like, so you have an Artspira ID.
Yeah.
If it doesn't accept the password, there should be a password reset. You can always call Brother Customer Support. I think that was.
And there are many ways to log
go
in.
ahead, Emily. Sorry.
You can use your Canvas workspace login. You can use a Brother login. I believe you can use like an Apple login if you're using Apple device. So there's multiple ways to get into your account.
Yeah.
On there.
Okay. If I have created an embroidery design in Artspira, can I save that on my embroidery machine?
No.
You can send it.
Yes, you can send it. You can use it. So I don't remember, if you remember, I think it was in the fall, I used like 6 or 10 different leaves, and I created that leaf heart in the Artspira app, and I transferred it to my machine, and I wanted to save it because it's big, like it's a big design. So I'm only going to be using it on this machine. But it won't let me save it. So I actually have it saved in the Artspira app, and I can just transfer it back over anytime I want to use it. But anything that you use designs built into Artspira or fonts, you can't save onto your machine.
Perfect. Thank you. Jennifer says, where did you get your buntings? Now, you obviously can't tell, but you could probably put it on a blog post or give her a little hint of where to look that up.
I purchased online. And also, if you go search bunting on my site and see any post that's using these burlap buntings, I will have linked where I bought it. And like I said, it came with I feel like 30 or 50 flags, like so many. And so I just keep cutting them off. I have still enough to make one more shorter word that I even trimmed off this. So it's just like a long strip, and you just cut off what you need, which is awesome. You can do lots of things with it.
Jean wants to know, was that font that you used, was it built into the machine, or did you download a new font?
Yeah, I purchased that online and transferred. I actually keep it on my laptop, and then I just transferred on the USB stick, the LOVE, just the letters that I needed. Because like I said, I have not found any built-in designs on the Stell Air. I know, like you said, on the multi-needle, they have Puffy foam fonts built in, but I haven't found any of these built-in ones that are able to work.
Yeah, I agree. And I love that they included them in the multi-needle, because a lot of people use the multi-needle, number one, to make product to sell, which is a great way to start a business.
Absolutely. Yeah. For hats or things like that. It's so cute, and it is so easy that it is built into those machines.
Yeah. Fran, what are you on? The NQ3600D. Does that have Wi-Fi, Fran? If it has, if you want to use Artspira, your machine needs to have Wi-Fi. So I can't remember if the NQ3600D does or not, but if it, let me know in the comments and then I'll remember. Hey, Rosa.
I feel like that one came out around the same time as the SE2000. So it might be one of those.
I've been using the SE2000 all week. I love that machine. It's a little machine for travel as well. And it's so easy to design. I always use PE11, design and send it to the machine. It's like a snap, but for Artspira, it's great.
Yeah.
Make sure I see. Kim, did you have another? It does not have Wi-Fi. So Fran, no, it won't. Sorry about that.
Oh, shoot.
I know. Let's see where else. Jennifer, no, Kim. Princess says that Kim has a question. Kim, did I answer your question? Because if not, post it again, making sure I didn't miss anything. I think we got it all.
Okay, great.
Great project, Emily. Love it. And I have our website scrolling below, so you can go to brothersews.com if you want to find your local dealer. That's where you want to go. They have some great specials this month. So make sure if you're looking for something, a new machine, anything in that realm, go visit your brother dealer. You know, the other thing is a lot of brother dealers will have classes. And you can also go play on the machines before you purchase. So that's a great way to test out the machine, see what you like, see what deals they have. It's a great way to do that. And then you have Emily's site, Life So Savory. She's got a ton of great blog posts. AngelaWolf.com. I have the schedule up. So you can just go and click on the links for what day our shows are. Other than that, Fashion Sewing Club, I'll see you this afternoon. Emily, you're going to love this. I thought of you when I was designing this. We're going to take a pair of jogger pants and turn them into overalls because overalls is such a huge trend right now. So
yes.
a little pattern hack.
Perfect. I'll have to watch.
You need to make that. You need to make one for Rose.
Totally. Yes. Or me. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. I was thinking for me. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Emily, thank you for another great show. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye.